guys, it's Ta. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate ya. So today we're going to be doing my July TBR. Happy July, everyone. And also, I got the shirt. They had one left. Isn't it so cute? This is the shirt for my library's summer reading program. It's adorable. So I'm going to get it. All right, so for this month, I made a new board, and I think I'm going to stick kind of with this board. I did like a grid shaped. This holds 36 prompts at a time. However, if you notice at the bottom, it is blank. I ran out of the scratch pieces, so I have to order some more from Amazon. So we are going to be using this. And as far as me, today I'm going to hang it up here on the wall behind me. I cannot find my sticky tack anywhere, like anywhere. So today you're going to see a little, let me use some painter's tape. It'll stay up just fine. But hopefully I can find my sticky tack. If not, go to Dollar Tree and get some more. That way it's just stuck to the wall. And each time that I pull one of these off, whenever we start the game again, I'll just replace it with a different prompt. So we are going to be doing what I normally do. Is it 5 or is it 6? I don't know. Let me find out. Okay, little brain fart, but we're going to be doing 6 rolls, and each roll we're going to scratch off a prompt. However, if I get a double, that means I have to add a roll. And then on top of my rolls, we're also going to be picking the Reese Witherspoon Book Club book, 2 TBR knockouts, and a buzzword book. So minimum 9, 10, 10. But I can use some of my TBR books for the knockout and the buzzword if they fit. So at minimum 10 if nothing from above fits below. So let me get this set up and we'll talk about how I did last month and then we'll start playing. Okay, so for June's TBR, the prompts we had are hero or heroine is from Europe. I picked Royal Pickle by J.J. Knight and I read that one. Unlikely Detective, I picked The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James and I read that one. Recommended by a favorite author, and I picked Mr. McHottie by Pippa Grant and I read that one. H.H.'s Person of Color, they both die at the end and I read that one. Takes place in a prison. This one I said I was going to read Green Mile. I forget the exact 2 names of the books. They're in the other room. It's the 6-part small Stephen King books, and I said I was going to read at least the first 2. I have read the first one and started the second one, so I'm going to count that as kind of done because I'll literally have it done before the second even starts. So yay! And then for Tearjerker, I chose After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have read that one. Then for Reese Witherspoon, we had The Other Woman by Sandy Jones, and I read that. So, and then TBR Knockout, we had LGBTQ plus book. They both die at the end. Read it. Transgender or non-binary, I read Detransition Baby. I read that one. And then for buzzword, it had to have the word all in the title. And I read All the Bright Places. So, pretty good. Did it all. So now we will move into our first roll. And I'm going to use this canvas that Abby painted in 2015 when she was 3 as a thing to roll on. So I will be right back. Roll number 1. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Poetry book. Okay, so for roll number 1, we got poetry. I can't pick a poetry book. I have looked online. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for. So that one I'm going to save, and we're just going to pick something at the library. I'm going to go look at all their poetry books. I think that'll be easier for me because I'm not even 100% sure of what I'm even supposed to be looking for. So we're going to go that route. Let's see what else we got. Roll number 2. We got 9. I hope you guys are seeing that. I can't tell. Okay, I think you did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Read a book that's part of a duet. I can do that. For number 2, we got part of a duet, and for that one I chose Written with Regret by Ali Martinez. And this one is about excuse me, a girl who thinks that every little girl has a fairy tale of her happily ever after, of a white knight that rushes in to save her from whatever might conspire. And then they fall in love, have babies, and live happily ever after. So by that definition, it should have been her fairy tale ending. However, it was not. When she was 8 years old, Caven Hunt saved her from the worst kind of evil to walk the earth. It didn't matter that I was a kid, I fell in love with him all the same. But that was where my fairy tale ended. Years later, a one-night stand during the darkest time imaginable gave us a little girl. It was nothing compared to the pitch black that consumed me when I was forced to leave her with Caven for good. At the end of every fairy tale, the happily ever after is the one thing that remains consistent. It wasn't going to be mine, but there hadn't been a night that passed where I hadn't prayed that it would be hers. I owed Caven my life. However, I owed that innocent child more, and that included ripping the heart from my chest and facing her father again. So, in this case, it looks like it'll be their third meeting, and third time's a charm, right? Roll number 3. And we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Color in the title. So for color in the title, I chose Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I've seen a lot of people enjoy this one. Some people didn't. I'm excited to see what my opinion is. And this one is about Mare. And in this book, you either have red blood or you have silver blood. If you have red blood, you are basically forced to serve the silver-blooded people. But she figures a twist of fate. Mare has a special ability, and she has red blood. So she tries to keep that from the king or whatever, but the king winds up making her do like some long lost silver princess scheme thing and betroths her to one of his sons. So we get to follow that journey along with her to see exactly where she's going to wind up. Maybe she'll overthrow the kingdom. I don't know. But seems interesting enough. Roll number 4. We got a 6. And let's see what that one is. A 1. So we have 7. Number 7. Let me get my quarter. Ow. Did I go the wrong direction? No, I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me scratch some other one. Marriage of Convenience. That took me a second to read. And then we have Marriage of Convenience. And for that, I chose The Favor by Suzanne Wright. And this one is about Vienna. She only has herself to blame because she asked a person named Dane for a favor.
He is a globally successful CEO. Her boss, because she's his personal assistant, but what she didn't realize before she asked for this favor and apparently he granted it or whatever, she would have to be married to him for 12 months. And Dane was a devil incarnate. He wasn't ugly and terrorizing. He was seductive and captivating. And he hummed with whispers of temptation, the temptation to sin and surrender and let him brand and possess you. He awakened every need and fantasy you've ever had. So, we shall see if it's just a convenience marriage or will it outlast the convenience period and maybe he is her one true love. We don't know.
Roll number 5. We got a 6. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Lord. Published before 1950. Okay.
The next one we got published before 1950, and this one's kind of cheating, kind of not. The original book was published in like 1944, I believe, and over the years they've kind of re-released it with different artwork and covers, etc. But that's what we're gonna go with, and that is The Island of Adventure by Enid Blyton. And this one is a children's book. Should be very fun and easy to get through. And this one is about Philip, Dinah, Lucianne, and Jack, and Kiki the parrot. Something very sinister is happening on the mysterious Isle of Gloom, and the children are determined to uncover the truth. But Philip, Dinah, Lucianne, and Jack are not prepared for the dangerous adventure that awaits them in the abandoned copper mines and secret tunnels beneath the sea. So we get to see what the kids find, how dangerous it is for them to get there, and just see what a fun adventure they are about to embark on.
Roll number 6 and final roll if I don't get a double. 11. So we were here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that says, what does it say? 650 plus pages. Whew, it's going to be a toughie.
And then our last roll hit us with a doozy, 650 pages. Couldn't find any close to 650, but I did find one over 800. Woohoo! And that is Dune by Frank Herbert. Dune is very popular in the sci-fi world. Lots of people have been reading it and watching the movie. I think the movie's out. They've been talking about the movie if they haven't watched the movie yet. But this one is set on the desert planet of Arrakis. Dune is the story of the boy Paul who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. So, it's a chunker. It's sci-fi, not my strongest suit, but I did put it on my 22 to read in 22. I don't know why I put it on that list. I don't remember my reasoning behind that. But we're going to see if I enjoy it. So hopefully I do. So for the next thing we're going to do is pick our Reese Witherspoon book club pick. And then we're going to go look it up and see what it's actually about. Because I don't know what half of them about are in here. But I do want to read through her pick list. So in this cup, you see orange, you see pink. Orange is adult and pink is young adult. So let's mix them up and choose one. And we choose this one. Oh, it's pink. Should be an easy read. Should be. A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. And this was from November 2020. So let me pull it up and see what it is. Okay, it says, for Leela Reyes, a summer in England was never part of the plan. The plan was to take over her abuela's role as head baker at their panadera. 2, move in with her best friend after graduation. 3, live happily ever after with her boyfriend. But then the trifecta happened and everything, including Leela herself, fell apart. Worried about her mental health, her parents make a new plan for her. Spend 3 months with family in Winchester, England to relax and reset. But with the lack of sun, a grumpy inn cook, and a small town lacking Miami flavor, both in food and otherwise, what would be a dream trip for some feels more like a nightmare to Leela, until she meets Orion Maxwell, a tea shop clerk with troubles of his own. Orion is determined to help Leela out of her funk and appoints himself as her personal tour guide from Winchester's drama-filled music scene to the sweeping English countryside. It isn't long before Leela is not only charmed by Orion, but England itself. Soon, a new future is beginning to form in Lila's mind, one that would mean leaving everything she ever planned behind. So the question is this good for her or bad for her? Will she decide to give up where she's from, what she's used to, something new, or will she go back and everything's going to be a-okay? I don't know, but we will find out together. So the only thing left to choose is our Buzz Read and our TBR knockout. So for Buzz Read, we have Bookish Words. And for that one, I chose Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. And this is part of the Bromance Book Club. And this is book 3. And the Bromance Book Club is basically a group of guys who read romance books, or as they call them, manuals, to basically save their and their friends' relationships, give them advice on what to do and what not to do. So this one is going to be about Alexis. She has a cat cafe. And this is also about Noah, her best friend. Alexis came forward after a celebrity chef's sexual harassment. And then a new customer approaches her to confide that the last thing is the woman claims that she's her sister. So she turns to her best friend, Noah, who is a computer genius and can basically help her get the answers she needs. But he's also kind of like secretly in love with her. So my guess is he's going to get with his homies, you know, the boy club, and they're going to help him get out of the friend zone and maybe tell her how he feels. And the question will be, is it going to be still in the friend zone, or will he finally, you know, get a girlfriend? We shall see. And then for TBR knockout, there are 2 of those. And the first one is Water Creature, and I chose In Over Her Head by Judy Fennell. And this is a light paranormal royal rom-com. And this one is about marina owner Erica Peck. She lives near the water, but she doesn't really like the water. Some type of accident or incident, as she calls it, has occurred, and she is told she's basically faced with choosing a bullet or going into the water to retrieve a stolen treasure. And the person that lives under the sea would be Reel, R-E-E-L, Reel Triton. He's the second son of the king of the Mers, and he's always been fascinated by humans. And he is the spare heir. He doesn't have a tail or much purpose, but when the devil may care never do well sees a woman about to become a shark snack, he only has one choice, even though it's kind of sort of totally against the rules to turn a human into a mer, even to save her life. So he is going to turn Erica into a mer, and maybe they'll go on some adventures together. Maybe, who knows? This merman can become a human, maybe. I don't know. He's a merman. Who knows what he can do? So it looks like we get to see where that relationship blossoms to. So that'll be fun, kind of, you know, underwater, out of the water relationship. And then the second TBR knockout is water on the cover. And for that one, I'm going to use something I already chose. And that would be this one, the Island of Adventure. So not too bad of a TBR with all the add-ons. Thankfully, I didn't get any doubles to, you know, have added rolls. So all I have left to choose is the poetry book, but like I said, I'm going to do that at the library because I'm just not even sure about what to search and what's the best. And maybe something will spark my fancy when I'm standing in front of the poetry section at the library. So those are all the choices that I have for this month. Have you read any of those? If you did, how'd you like them? Let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.